Snow. And just repeat. Let me go to our guest, Pontius Joseph, who has written a book about dating these days. Not something that I have done for a long period of time, and I would imagine that the scene has changed somewhat. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's gone back to the 70s, maybe it's the 80s dating scene, or maybe it's completely different. So look forward to finding out a lot more about this. Pontius, welcome to KBYR.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
There is one consistent theme in your in the introduction to you, and that is treating a woman like a lady. Tell me about that, and your website, by the way, thecreativegentleman.blogspot.com. So that's a way that people can go find out more about you. We'll link to you from our Facebook page too.
All right, perfect.
But treating a woman like a lady, is this what women have we gotten past the feminist version of life here, and so we're back to treating women like ladies now?
Well, I could definitely say that we need to strive to get back to this point, especially in the young generation, because there is so much going on in today's society that you have men that just want a lady and they want to look at them just for optimistic reasons. And I'm trying to express in my book not only the ways you need to act more in a chivalry way, but also bring out the better in a man as well.
Chivalry. I love the idea of that. I think it's critical to a relationship. I think it's the most important thing that there is. So tell me, and you're saying this generation doesn't get that. What does this generation see? Is it just an object? There's a woman. I've seen them on magazines, on the internet, pornography, and whatever. It's just an object. I want one of them. I'll take it for as long as I want, and then I'll get rid of it. Is that sort of the way people go about it?
Well, I wouldn't say it is that way. I would say it's more of they're just very prone to just being just very how can I say, just objective to certain female things, especially like you just said, pornography and sexual type of icons, and that's what truly has happened, and has not only changed not only the generation before us, but after us, and now it's going to also alter the next generation because there is no structure going on.
Hey, Pontius, do you have something going on in the background there? Is there something you could turn off or turn down?
Let me see. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, there was something going on in the background, and it was coming through on the phone. I'm talking here with Pontius Joseph. He is an American author, a poet, a filmmaker. He was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. Is it Missouri? Do I need to say Missouri, or can only people from Missouri say Missouri? I've always wondered about that.
No, me personally, myself, I just call it Missouri.
Okay, all right, St. Louis, Missouri, and he's currently a student at Johnson and Wales University, far removed from the dating scene, and really, I don't know that I ever participated fully in the dating scene. Tell me what the purpose of your book is. A Gentleman with a C.S.L., which I'm not sure I know what that is yet. A Young Gentleman's Guide to Dating and Relationships. What is a C.S.L., by the way?
All right. Well, the C.S.L. is pretty much, it stands for, it's abbreviation for cool, spontaneous, and laid back. I figured this out, and all through my years of college, and I actually came up with a structure, and it just hit me, and this was the structure that just works for the now generation of the ladies and the females that are looking for a man and that want a man, and this is what they're looking for. They're looking for someone that's cool, spontaneous, and laid back. They're looking for someone that's not so uptight and very, let's say, content. In a way, I make in my book where it's pretty much, it's not saying that you have to be a certain way, but whatever's working for you now that wasn't working, I would suggest you take a look at my book.
And the goal of the book is how to convince a woman to get into a relationship with you.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it's convincing, but it's more of a setup. Like it's more of a game plan. You want to come to the game, and you want to know what you want to say. Because some men you have that where they go to a lady that the first thing out their mouth is and butt and bot, and the lady's not going to take no time and take you seriously. They're going to walk off and say, "Can I get my drink, please?" Now, I mean, they're not going to be worried about you. My book is definitely giving the man a structure, the man a way to actually have a game plan that's going to actually, it's not going to say, 100% is going to get you there, but I guarantee you, if you take a look at it, it's very mind-blowing, I can say that.
It sounds like there's a lot of people who don't really have a lot of clue about what women are looking for and kind of what attracts, because don't women make the decision very, very swiftly the first time that they see you, talk to you, interact with you? They make a decision as to whether or not you are a good match for them, don't they?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like in the first 30 to 60 seconds, I mean, somebody's going to write you off. It's like walking into an interview. That's how I contemplated in my book. As the first 30 to 60 seconds is the very first impression. And in between that time, that really illustrates if they like you or if they don't. And if there are people that say, love at first sight. And there are people that actually go off of that and they live their life by that. So you have to sort of play by it, but you also have to take it into a mindset that, hey, it's like going into a job interview. Hey, I got to wine and dine. I got to impress to better out the best. You got to beat the best to be the best,
Cool, spontaneous, and laid back. Those are the three characteristics you think express to a woman, look, I'm worth your time. I'm worth you thinking about.
No. It's not just that. I mean, I want everyone to understand. You apply this into your personality, your characteristics, and I guarantee it'll shockwave you. Because not only is, first of all, like my chapter in the book, the main chapter I really like is called The Secret is Spontaneous. There's a lot of men that do a lot of spontaneous things, and that also helps definitely prolong the relationship, and it makes everything last forever and makes it more funner. I mean, it's like that birthday that you just had, and pretty much it was a surprise birthday. And you walked in, everybody was screaming and hollering. You're going to remember that birthday as the best birthday ever. It's definitely things you can do that's why, and the secret is spontaneous. It's not really knowing that, I can, pretty much scare somebody and shock somebody all day. But no, it's definitely giving you pretty much a game plan of what you're doing. I mean, everything that's done, in dark, you don't always have to bring it to the light. Like, let's say you want to take it to the L.A., Los Angeles. You don't have to tell her all the time because that's not going to, it's like, I just know what to plan for now. But if I bring it to you as a surprise and we show up at the airport and you're thinking you're going to Chicago and we're going to Los Angeles, you're going to be like, oh my, this is great.
Well, that would be an amazing surprise for sure. Cool, spontaneous, laid back. So the thought process that a lot of people go through, I get the sense these days that a lot of people are very inward focused, and I'm always shocked. My wife and I have been married, of course, for a couple decades, and we just have a great relationship, and I'm always thinking about her, but I get the sense that other people are sort of locked into their own interior world, kind of selfish. And is part of the book trying to convince people, look, if you want a relationship, that's a two-person thing. The other person's got to be elevated. They got to be raised up in your mind and throughout, the relationship process.
I definitely can agree on that. I feel like in my book, it's more than my stages in my book, and I call it in one of my chapters called The Emotional Tolls. Pretty much because my book goes into a lot of automobile terminology. And it talks about how you're driving on the road and you see a toll coming up. And you have to stop, and sometimes there's cars in front, and one of you guys got to give the change. Now, you can go ahead and convert that in. I know you're thinking in your head, what does that have to do? But emotional toll is some point in your relationships and your life that you're going through. And in between all the midst, something, I guess you can just say, just comes out of nowhere. And it's very earth-shaking. And in your relationship, and now you're arguing back and forth, but it's going to be a point in your life. You're going to come to this part of the life that's called the toll, where you're going to have to throw in some change.
What you need to do is probably put some money in the bank in the emotional bank before you get to that point, because you're going to have to withdraw it. Hey, Pontius Joseph, I appreciate you being on KBYR, American author, poet, filmmaker, and he brings to us A Gentleman with a C.S.L., a cool, spontaneous, and laid-back, a young gentleman's guide to dating and relationships. Thanks so much for being on.
Oh, thank you.
All right. You have a great day. And he's lucky. He's down in Florida, by the way. So I'm a little jealous. You're listening to the KBYR